I know there's a controversial sort of rape scene in The Fountainhead, and I wanted to talk about Ayn Rand's relationship between women and positions of power, whether they be elected or in society.
I mean, sure. I mean, Ayn Rand, I think, believed that women were capable of doing anything,
Mhm.
that they could do anything, that they had the capacity to do anything. I mean, again, her heroine is running a railroad and clearly the most competent person and giving orders, and she's the boss. But Ayn Rand has this controversial essay that she wrote about the fact that she would never support a woman being president. And she has a controversial view of what femininity in its essence mean and what masculinity in essence mean. Her view is that masculinity in its essence is an orientation towards nature and reality and solving the existential problem that nature presents to human beings. It's much more material and physical. Of course, reason is involved, but it's dealing with the world out there. Mm-hmm. And that the essence of femininity is what she called hero worship. It's idealizing the male. It's idealizing the hero, right? And so it's oriented towards the male, not ignoring reality. You're still coping in reality. And of course, she ran a railroad, right? Dealing with reality. But that the essence of the feminine within you, that part that is the feminine, is oriented towards the male, right? And if you think psychologically about how men behave and how women behave, I think there's a lot of truth to that. And I'm not a psychologist. I think that's not philosophy. I think that's psychology. And I'm not an expert on this. And, you know, and it's not a formal part of objectivism because it's more of a psychological identification. But I think if you look around and you look how men behave and how women behave, this has some explanatory power over that. So she thought very highly of the position of president of the United States. Maybe if she'd lived through the last 12 or so years, she wouldn't have such a high opinion of the president of the United States. But the idea that the president of the United States is this pinnacle, that there's nobody that a president can look up to. It is a heroic figure in a sense. And she said a woman wouldn't want to be in that position because she wouldn't want to be in a position where there was nobody to look up to, right? So that's psychologically a woman who is feminine, fully feminine, if you will, would not want to put herself in that position. And that's why she objected. But it's not a matter of capacity. It's not about a brain power. It's not about a matter of being able to be a boss. So even in Atlas Shrugged, the heroine of Atlas Shrugged, the woman who runs the railroad, still has somebody she looks up to. Mm-hmm. And that's really important psychologically in the end in the novel and in how the story unwinds. But I'm going to try not to give away any spoilers.
For sure.